Capone, a crime drama directed by Trank, who also directed the pretty damn good 2012 Chronicle film, which brought light to Michael B. Jordan's career for me personally, and he also directed the not so good 2015 Fantastic Failure. Yeah, now he's back with Capone, a film that explores the final days of the notorious gangster Al Capone as he succumbs to dementia and relives his past through tormenting memories. Now, out of the many topics that could have been explored about Capone, Trank's choice to dive into Capone's later years after prison and displaying him as he slowly withers away due to contracting syphilis was a very unexpected time in Capone's life to cover. And after watching Capone, I felt like he would have had better luck taking the more predictable route and covering his early gangster lifestyle instead. Capone has an underlying plot though outside of its character study, which introduces the idea that he has money buried somewhere but can't quite remember where, and with his mind slowly getting worse, it brings forth the idea if this money even exists. But I want to get into Tom Hardy's performance, which was very entertaining as usual, but I'm not sure if it was enough to carry this film alone for some viewers. But the most interesting aspect about the character portrayal in Capone was the tormenting flashbacks and how we are as lost as he is at times when his delusions come into play. It almost feels like a horror film once his mind starts playing tricks on him and the guilt from his past life starts showing those he's murdered walking around his home. And around this point in the movie, we get to see a side of Al Capone that's barely even himself anymore, or the infamous person we knew him to be personality wise. Instead, we are more so reminded of who he is based off skewed memories from his past. His surroundings in this movie seem to also display more about who he is rather than the person we see on screen. Like the old gangsters who he used to run the streets with, who still come around to spend time with the family. Also the way he dresses and his constant urge to keep a cigar plugged in his mouth. It displays a shell of Capone visually, but psychologically we get this old guy who just doesn't know who or where he is, which I would assume is the perspective that Trank was shooting for. And I have to say, the production value for the film's visual storytelling compositions that depicts Capone's delusions were well established, especially towards the end of the movie. Although some parts are confusing, we know as viewers once he's completely gone mentally, simply based off the illusions he's seeing, which gradually grows throughout the film from, is this actually happening, to, yeah, if he's seeing this kind of shit now, he's gone. Capone is honestly quite disappointing to me because there's so much historical material out there regarding Al Capone's life that getting a modern day biopic would have been much more enjoyable to me. I understand the idea of wanting to tread uncharted waters with this film and showing a side and moments of Al's life that most never got to see, but just because it wasn't really known about doesn't mean it's worth talking about. Personally, I would have been more interested in seeing what it was like for him serving 4.5 years in Alcatraz while being affected mentally by syphilis. Just seeing what that was like for him at one of the most infamous maximum security prisons while beginning to lose his mind seems like a much more interesting concept to me. So I'm giving Capone a 3 out of 5. I knew going into it that it wasn't going to be the gangster mafia life portrayal that most probably wanted to see, but after seeing this movie, you would have thought someone either ran out of ideas or just flat out hated the guy. It's a film that just simply displays a really powerful man, or once powerful man, now at his lowest, and then death is on its way to finish him off. There's some good comedic relief here and there, but it's honestly some pretty depressing shit to watch. But there you have it. Feel free to leave a comment below on your thoughts if you've seen the film. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe.